Failure. Something no one likes to admit that they've reached in life. This true story begins with the failure of a mountain climber. But it is what this mountain climber did with his failure, or perhaps what that failure did with him, that sets him apart. For as the Persian proverb says, when it is dark enough, you can see the stars. Greg's goal, like many others before him, was to climb to the top of a mountain named K2, the world's second highest mountain, located in the glacier and ice-covered peaks of Central Asia. The climb to its summit is known as one of the Earth's most dangerous feats. Greg was climbing to leave a necklace at the peak that belonged to his sister Krista. You see, Krista, his younger sister and close friend, died suddenly and unexpectedly less than a year before from a disorder of the brain called epilepsy. Greg set out to scale the cliffs and walls of ice and snow to honor his sister with a team of people from around the world. After many days of climbing, an unexpected blizzard hit the climbers just 600 feet from the summit. Earlier in the climb, Greg and his friend had helped rescue another team member. This had left him low on energy. The fierce and piercing winds of the blizzard reminded Greg that he could fall to the same fate as other climbers who had attempted to climb the mighty K2 that ended in death and devastation. With this, he made a tough decision to turn back. On his trip down, Greg also began to feel sick because of the high altitude. To make matters worse, he lost his climbing partners and all of his climbing and camping gear. He slowly made his way down the mountain and was forced to spend the night alone in the fierce, cold. At last, after another day of lonely wandering, he found himself in the outskirts of a small mountain village called Corfe. Corfe was located in a glacier-carved valley in the country of Pakistan, far from any cities or large towns. The town chief, Haji Ali, welcomed Greg to his home, and his family helped nurse Greg back to health. He found the people of the town to be very helpful, kind, and friendly. One day, he went on a walk around the village by himself. He came upon a group of children sitting in the cold, on the hard ground, scratching at it with sticks. His curiosity grew as he came closer and noticed that the children were in the middle of a math lesson. But Greg couldn't see a teacher in sight. He asked the students where the teacher was, and they told him that the town could not afford to pay a teacher, so they learned the best that they could, alone. Greg was amazed and knew something had to be done. He promised Haji Ali that he would return to Corfe one day to build the children a school. After returning to the United States, Greg began his quest to build schools by writing letters. Greg ended up writing 580 letters, yet for all his hard work, he only received in return a $100 check from NBC's Tom Brokaw. After that, he began selling his own possessions, but still could not come close to making enough money to fulfill his promise to the children of Corfe. His luck began to turn after a school of children in the United States donated $623 worth of pennies for the children of Pakistan. This contribution got adults to take Greg more seriously. After making many more connections, he raised $12,000 to begin his project and build a school. This was only the beginning. Now, after nearly 20 years of building, Greg has completed 145 schools in war-torn regions of Pakistan and Afghanistan and has educated over 64,000 students, more than 3/4 of those students girls. When a child in Central Asia is educated with a balanced, non-extremist education, many things happen. For one thing, less infants die each year. 1 out of every 3 children who are born in Pakistan die before the age of 1. As students are educated, they can bring care to infants in villages that are far removed from hospitals. Also, less people turn to violent extremist groups like the Taliban. Schools called madrasas provide education to many in Pakistan and Afghanistan. However, the hardline instruction they receive at these schools turns out thousands of these boys who are fed right into the ranks of the Taliban. Greg may have found a failure in his pursuit to climb K2, but it was in this failure that he refused to quit his quest to do good and found success in his life's work. Because of Greg, our world is a happier and safer place. Each day, the lives of children are enriched as they reach for a brighter future. The story of Greg the Climber reminds us that even the most immense failures, when met with perseverance, hard work, and a will to help others in need, can become pathways to unimaginable success.